Hello and welcome along to part 5 of my series where I talk about Action Comic, the only kids comic in the UK to ever be banned. Now if you want to check out my previous parts, they'll be in the link in the description down below, and I urge you, if you haven't checked them out, if you're a bit out of sync, I urge you to go back to the one that you need to catch up on, or start from the beginning if you're a new watcher of these videos. So in the last one I got up to comic number 53, and I don't want to say at this point that the money man who used to give money away in the pre-ban comics, he doesn't seem to appear in any of the post-ban comics. He just seems to have vanished. And also Action Man doesn't do any action stuff now, but he has done a little thing in his sort of editorial part. He talks about him doing some karate, but that's quite a good little thing to keep up on. Does he fail? Does he win or does he fail? So anyway, we're going to start off on this one from number 54. Now number 54 is the 26th of March 1977. Now this is one of those covers that you think it's not the greatest of cover. I do think that I don't particularly like seeing Lefty on the cover or footballs. I do prefer to see action. If they'd missed that bit off, I think it would be a much better cover and just concentrate on them two action scenes. Never mind. So that's number 54, the 26th of March 1977. And also in that one, there was a thing that they used to put in the action annuals, which seems to have come into the comics as well, is that, we'll know this one from the action annuals, Gang Smashers. Just like a one-page thing about maybe some kind of true thing that happened in police, I don't know. So anyway, that seems to be in the action comics from now on, actually, or most of them. So number 55 is the 2nd of April 1977. This is getting back to the thing of saying, right, take Lefty out of it, and they have done actually on this one, and it's featuring the Double Dynamite and Hellman on the front there. And in this one, there's it's quite memorable for the fact that it is the last episode appearance of Hell's Highway. Now Hell's Highway ended in this comic, and there will be a new one starting the week after. And also there's a thing in here which, if you were young and at school, it would have been brilliant. I can't remember this one actually, but in the Crazy comic there was a thing you could stick on the end of your pen and you blow it and it was a whistle and it would drive your teacher mad. Now that's great, it's so much fun, and obviously it would be probably, if you did that these days, you would be probably banned you'd be expelled, because you can't do anything really these days, can you? Nothing like this you did in the 70s. And so number 56 is the 9th of April 1977, and there's a new story that's starting here. Now this story here seems to be getting back to the sort of probationer, although a very mild version of the probationer, a bit more of an adult sort of storyline, and which is great. When they got rid of, well, Hell's Highway was okay, but I would prefer Look Out for Lefty to be gone, but Look Out for Lefty didn't go at all. So yes, so for me, this is quite a welcome addition to action. It gets it to being a little bit more adult orientated, for want of a better word. And I do notice that they've changed to 8 penny now. I don't know when they swapped over. I will find out and put it in my next video when they swapped over from 7 penny, the 7 penny nightmare, into 8p, a whole penny. Wow. Okay, so in the 9th of April, the new story that the Loner started, and also what they did in here, and I don't know if anybody remembers that, they were advertising the Weetabix Doctor Who cards. Now there was a previous ones in 1975 which I've got. I've also got these ones as well, which I managed to collect the full lot. But the reason why I did that was because I hated Weetabix, and I used to get them and scrunch them up and put them in the bin when nobody was looking. And people would say it was, I can't believe how many Weetabix you're going through. and I was saying, oh, they're lovely. Mind you, when this promotion stopped, I never touched a Weetabix again for many years, although I do really like them now, but I couldn't stand them back in the day. But I had to get them just to get these, as most kids would want to collect the whole lot. I don't know why they don't put things in cereal packets anymore. It was a really good thing to have. It was quite an exciting thing to have, to open your cereal. Mind you, I used to put them in the worst ones for me, which was Weetabix. So the next one is the 16th of April 1977, and that is number 57. And there he is, my old nemesis, Lefty. It's not one of my favourite covers at all. I don't think that he should be really on the cover, though he is a character that's been there from day one. But it wasn't anything. When I got this comic, you would think I'm not really that interested in even looking at it. It did make a bit of a foreboding that the interior wasn't that great. But saying that, there's also a thing in here for the 2000 AD. They're still going and advertising that, which I would imagine had been quite a really good seller. Well, I know it would have been, because one of us was going mad for it. But even though the cover wasn't one of my favourite covers, the story in Hookjaw at this point was becoming quite a good story, and it featured a character called Lieutenant Pat Sherry, and he was kind of like a Rick Mason type character, and he had battles with Hookjaw. And to be honest, this and it got some great sort of artwork in this one. It's not as gory as it would want to be. It would have been a great story if it was as gory as it could be. But this introduction of this character was, I think, a good little way to keep that Hookjaw moving. The next one is number 59, which is the I'm going to have a recount. Number 58, which is the 23rd of April 1977. Now, as well as Hookjaw being quite good, Spinball was getting quite good as well. Spinball, the team were doing a tour of Japan, and the storyline was they were fighting people, sort of Japanese people who were like sumo wrestlers as well, and it was a really good part in the story. Actually, Spinball was quite good. Hookjaw was quite good at this point as well. So people who are thinking about not getting post bands might want to, at a sensible price, I would imagine the whole set you wouldn't pay more than £40 for them, unless you're really desperate to finish off your collection. But I do think that this one here is also, it's good as well, because you've got the Hookjaw is now progressed, even though he's not back in colour, he's progressed into being 4 pages long in his strip, and it's like I say, it's a really good storyline in that one of the best ones I've seen actually, and if they put the gore in it, would have been amazing. So the next one is number 59, and that's the 30th of April 1977. A good cover there featuring Dredger and Breed. I always thought that Breed wasn't around for very long, but he must have been through. I don't know how he progressed with it. I thought that Dredger was on his own for quite a while, but I must have been wrong about that. So in this one, there's an advertisement for a thing that I don't know if anybody got, but I know I did, and I really enjoyed them. It was the Airfix models of the prehistoric monsters, and I did collect them, and I did love putting them together. Don't know where they are now. I think I've still got bits of them knocking about, but not anymore. But that was a real blast from the past when I come across that, when I looked at it. Used to love collecting them, and the sort of Frankenstein and Dracula and the Mummy as well, and Godzilla. And I would love to have Godzilla. I would love to have all them back again. I don't think I've got them anymore, but I never know. In a box upstairs in the loft, they could be there. Speaking of boxes, that one there, somebody asked us, I think it was on Facebook actually, to say, surely you didn't cut your comics up? Well, what I did was, when I was buying comics, there was obviously ones that were like really poor and they were falling to bits, so I thought, right, rather than just letting them just lying about and just doing nothing, I thought I would cut bits out of them. They were rubbish anyway, and threw them away, and then I stuck them bits on this box where I housed these action ones, and it looks all right. You know what? It's maybe something that you might want to do. Actually, you might want to, if somebody's selling a really, really bad, you know, even a pre-ban copy, you can cut bits out of it and you can sort of rectify it, rather than if you were to draw, that would take you hours. But I do like the look of that actually. So yes, so the next one is number 60, which is the 7th of May 1977. And also, apart from having Lefty on there, this is a really good cover as well. It's got a little bit of a hint to think, well, is this going to be anything worthwhile when I open it up? And funny enough, it is quite, I wouldn't say gory, I wouldn't say any of these are gory, but it has got a little bit of violence creeping back into it. And you do get, you know, you're just getting a little bit more of the sort of, you know, striking pictures that you used to get back in the day, back in the early days of action. And these ones could be classed as, maybe it's like a better version of the post bands. As they go along a little bit, maybe they do become just a little bit more entertaining. So maybe when you want to think about the post bands, you might want to maybe rethink a little bit and just say, maybe if you've got the money, or if you want to take the plunge, you might want to get these ones for this reason, that the strips do come back to being a little bit good from being pretty bad actually. Now on that conversation, the next one, the 14th of May, number 61, is got one of the best covers of any action comic actually. And this one here was one of the ones where you picked it up and you thought, wow, this is, you could frame that now and it would be a bit of a wow moment for people looking at it. And although inside it's not as great as it could be, it's still got that good thrilling, this is Lieutenant Pat Sherry getting into Hookjaw there, and I believe he puts this thing into him there, and I think it hangs around. I think he's got it forever after that, I believe, but I'm not too sure. He's also had a bit of these taken out over the years. I do like the whole dorsal fin of Hookjaw, which you would know the fin as soon as you saw it. Say maybe you saw a shark's fin and there was nothing bad about it, but when you saw that one, you know Hookjaw was coming. I thought it was a really good touch, that as well. So yes, that's a really excellent cover, that. And also as well, like I say, the great artwork was continuing for Hookjaw, and that's Hookjaw getting this new gaffer put into him. And if it hangs about for the rest of his time, or maybe that would. But saying that though, I did think that he had it before that, but never mind. I could be completely wrong with that. Sometimes you do get things blurring a bit. But great cover anyway. The next one is the 21st of May 1977, number 62, and it's another one where you get this cover one week, which is thrilling, and then you get this cover the next week and it's a bit it doesn't really want you to make you get into the comic, because at that time 2000 AD comics, where the covers were just unbelievable and like the old actions used to be. Now these ones here made you think, well, you know, is it worth it? Because I would collect them all the time, although I was losing not a little bit interest in it, but I was losing a bit heart in the whole collecting action. Hookjaw is still in he's in 4 pages in this one. I think he might be in 4 pages for the whole Pat Sherry episodes. And the next one is number 63, and it is the 28th of May 1977. Great cover, that. I like Hellman on the cover for some reason, although I'm not a big fan of the Hellman strip. The early ones were quite readable, and I don't know if I've read the later ones, although I will go back to all these and read them again. It does make me think that I've not read them for that long, that I do need to revisit them and brush up on what's going on. But this is a really good cover here as well. And the 20th of May. And this was the first yes, this was the first time you would see in here a character called Steel from in Spinball. It was one of those ones that's a bit of fluff, and one of those things that are quite a memorable character, and one of the characters that I really liked. So he's an excellent character to see progress in Spinball. The next one is number 64, is the 4th of June 1977. Good cover that. It does remain as a little bit of a, you could, if you did two glances you might think that was a pre-band cover. Actually it's got all the pre-band sort of things about it. It does hold up, that one. Actually it's quite a good cover. And like I say, this is the next one. This is the 11th of June 1977, and this showed Steel in all his glory, his cyborg glory. Now he started off, I think Joe Taggart in the Kniegal's Eagles just didn't appreciate him at all because he'd had a bad experience with Al Rico in a previous, way back in the day, and he didn't trust Steel, and Steel was probably a great ally to have on his team, but I think there was a lot of mistrust from Taggart, and I think that was part of his sort of his story arc. It was quite an interesting one, actually. I did really enjoy that. So, and I did enjoy the thing about Steel as well. And for me, he was a welcome addition into the action fold, because I used to love Al Rico, as I previously mentioned. So for me, this character was welcomed, very much welcomed. And it was quite funny to see that he used to talk in a bit of a robotic sort of way as well. He would say robotic things, like, that is irrelevant, Captain, that type of thing. So no, but yeah, so definitely maybe one of the better additions to the post-ban era. So the last one I'm going to be talking about today is number 66. This is the 18th of June 1977. Another, is that the Loner? I think it is, yes. Yes. You've heard of Joe's, now the Loner meets them. This was a good one that I do want to actually go back and revisit. I do want to see if it was worth any sort of was it a little bit near the knuckle and that. So, and also as well, in this comic, it told you about this, which I'll talk about in my next video. It's talking about this thing. It was the first thing that they put in this action, like a free gift sort of thing, for a long time. And it's the center pages, and you would make the center pages up of 4 episodes, and probably little bits of the back pages as well. You would probably take bits off, and you would create the game that was called Hook Joe's Gold. Now, I've got all the pages there, so I'll show you all about that next issue. But next time. So, yep. So that's the end of these ones. So from next one, I will take you through number 67, maybe to try and get you to the end of the post bands, and then I can move on to the summer specials, the annuals, and also Martin Barker's books, and maybe go back and revisit some and talk about maybe some of them at length in a way, maybe have a sort of a roundup episode. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, and also give a like to the video, and comment down below. Let me know what your post-ban journey was. Was it in utter contempt of it, or did you embrace it, or did you buy it because you wanted to keep up with the collection, a bit like me? Or did you think that you actually enjoyed them? Did you think they were better? I don't think anybody would say to me that they thought the post bands were better than the pre bands. Of course, that sounds ridiculous even when I'm saying it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and taking the time out to watch these, and do check the other ones out if you want to, if you like this video, and I'll see you next time. See you later.